Hey, I'm Daniel Vincent. If you're living with epilepsy, what was the first sign? The very first sign, the beginning of yourself, of things happening that were not right. The signs that were indicating that something was wrong. I know my own signs were back when I was maybe 6 months old. When I got a convulsion and my heat was climbing. Got a fever of 105, which apparently is what that was the beginning of my own seizures. But after this fever, it wasn't questioned, but things started to happen. Things started to there were indications that something was not right. And in time, I was doing different movements, but the first things that were apparent were the signs of staying still, absent seizures, staring. And that manifested into different things, where later on I started blinking. We all go through so many different things. And I'd like to know what you went through, how you first started off. And please leave something leave something below. So write it down and let me know what you were going through when you first started, and actually maybe even how it evolved. There are just so many things. I've put out the question in certain groups, and the replies I got, the responses, they were just off the charts. Like the things that people have gone through, it's just crazy. And we talk about epilepsy, and there are things that you can see or I can see when it's happening to you. But what is that we don't see? How about the collateral damage? How about the effects of the epilepsy itself? So I understand what déjà vu is all about. Auras, experiencing fear, extreme fear, paranoia. I understand that. And it's just something that's just so frightening. And so often people have tried to ask me to explain it. Just couldn't. It's not something that can be said. And I'm sure most of you can relate to what I'm saying. Fear, I tried to describe it, and I guess the closest I could get was, let's just say, let's put you in a cage with a tiger. You're not willing to get in there, but we'll put you in there. We'll lock the door. And that feeling, that fear you have of being caught, not being able to escape. Or another way I tried to put it was, here you are in the dead of winter. You get into a log cabin in the middle of the bush. You close the doors, just you in the cabin, and all of a sudden, you hear someone or something, you hear the door open. Someone's in there. Someone is in there with you. You lock yourself in a closet out of fear. And you don't move. When you hear the footsteps come by, you know that this person's out to get you. And it's just a matter of time. Now, what I was experiencing has nothing to do with any of this. However, that feeling was that drastic. Now, as for the fear, I couldn't be without anyone. However, I didn't want anyone to approach me. So I really can't explain it. But it was just there. And the hallucination, when I was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, when I witnessed my own hands, my fingers growing and getting huge, start crying, my mother would show up, and as I'd see her, she'd come in, I'd look at her, and her head would start to swell. As a 5 or 6 year old, frightening. But these are all things that I experienced. The shaking in the inside, the vibration. And until I was a certain age, I thought that vibration was normal. But it wasn't. It was what I was experiencing. Nobody on the outside can see. And I saw a picture of an iceberg once, where when you look at the iceberg, there's a little part sticking on the top. But the major part is underneath, and that's the epilepsy. What's on top is what others can see. What's on the bottom is what others can't see. What you've experienced, how you've experienced it, maybe even the ages, leave your comment below. Leave something there, and I'm looking forward to reading everything, and I will reply to it. Thanks.